I ran away to go down to my boyfriend's so we could get married. And I first started out with a friend of a friend. He was going to drive me because he was going right down there. And so he said that I could ride down there and he would drop me off. So once I got in the car and we were on our way, I happened to look over and I thought, oh my God, there's no inside handles. I'm locked in here. I can't get out. And I said, where's the handles? And he said, I've got them. I said, well, why aren't they on? He says, because I'm taking you to Texas and marrying you. I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. You are going to Texas and you will be my wife. I said, no, I won't. He said, you don't have a choice right now. And so we drove and drove and drove. Finally, he got really tired and went to sleep. But he left the window down that much. Well, at that time, I was like 90 pounds. I just scooted out, grabbed my purse, and then I started running. And we were out in the field like. And I just kept running, and I finally got up to a highway, and I was walking. And it was getting towards evening then. And the semi came by, and there was 2 young men in it. And they stopped, and they said, do you need a ride? And I said, where are you heading? He said, down south. And I said, okay, naive. I said, okay. So I got in the truck, and we drove and drove and drove. And he said, you can go back and lay down. And I said, no, I don't want to. He said, well, we want you to go and lay back down there. I said, no. Well, then he pulled the truck over, and he says, we want you. One wanted me to go in, and the other went around to the back of the truck. And I remember saying, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. And the one guy started to pin me down, and I broke loose, and I started to run. I left my purse and everything. I just ran, and the one guy came after me, and the other one said, no, leave her alone, she's jailbait. She's jailbait, leave her alone. He pinned me down, and I fought with him. And I said, you're going to get in trouble. I said, I'm only 16. I said, I'll call the police. And he released me. He must have been shocked at my age. He let go, and I jumped up and I took off. And the other guy had come around and opened the back of the truck. Well, the Lord did all that. So I run out of the truck and I run down the road, and then I was just walking. I had no purse, no money. It was raining. I was scared to go up to the houses, thinking maybe there's another guy that would be trapping me in the house. Yeah. And I said, Lord, if you get me out of this mess and get me home, you will be my Lord forever. And I will trust you, but I don't know how you can, because if somebody comes, I will not trust to get into it. So that's your problem, more or less. I'm putting that on you. Within probably, I don't know, 2 minutes, a car pulled up, and the door opened on the passenger side, and the man said, Carol, get in the car. And my first thought was, he knows my name. He has to be from God. How else would he know my name? And I thought of running, but then I thought, if I run up to the house, he'll run after me. And then I've got him mad, you know? So I thought, well, I'll take my chances here. So I got in the car, and the first thing he said to me, Carol, don't you ever get in the car with a man like this again. I said, I won't. I won't. And then he said, do you go to church? And I said, I do. He said, I go to Wealthy Baptist. I said, so do I. That's where I go. I said, I will. He said, I want to see you in church Sunday. And I said, okay, tell me where you're going to be and I'll meet up with you. And he said, no, you won't be able to see me, but I'll see you. I said, if you can see me, then I should be able to see you. He said, no, it don't work that way, but I will see you, and I want you there. And so I just sort of sat back, and I thought, I am not going to fall asleep. I am tired. But the last thing I would do is fall asleep. Next thing I know, he's saying, Carol, wake up, you're here. And I thought, I did not fall asleep. I did not, on my own, fall asleep. And I said, where am I? And he said, where you told me you wanted me to drop you off, 1 block from your house, so your mother doesn't worry about you. And he said, remember, church Sunday. I got out of the car and I stepped up on the curb. And as I stepped on the curb, I looked back and he was gone. He didn't even have time to go to a block and go around the corner. And the whole car was gone. The whole car was gone. And I said, Lord, you're good. You are good. I never would have thought you would send an angel with a car and the car would disappear. I said that to the Lord. And
jeez, after a night like that, to go back in there to
I went to church Sunday. I looked everywhere. He wasn't there. But he was there. He was there. And I knew he was an angel. And other things. There's been so many things that I've seen in the supernatural that there is no way anybody could ever convince me that there isn't a God and there isn't angels. I know there is. I've seen them. But God is so good. After that, I ended up marrying Junior.
And that was your boyfriend at the time?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy at the beginning that said he was going to marry you, that was a friend or something? That was
a friend of a friend. And he was going to take me down to Junior. His real name was Jesse. Jesse Franklin Riley.
So you didn't even know this guy that well?
The guy that I went with, I did not know that well. But he was a friend of a friend, and I trusted him. Because it was daylight, and by the time I got down there, it should have been evening, because he lived in Cincinnati, Ohio. But he didn't go there. I didn't know. He never got out of Michigan. And the truck driver that picked me up, I thought was heading south. He was heading north. So God was in the mix of that. I thought I was going south with the guy I was, but then when the truck driver picked me up, I no longer started going south. He brought me back, and I know when I asked I'll say an angel because I know it, that's who he was.
And the original destination was Cincinnati, Ohio? Yeah. That's where Junior was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He lived in Moscow, Ohio.
Okay.
Was outside of Coopersville. Well, then I went home, and and then I still had it in my mind I was going to go to Junior. And so Cheryl and I was going to hitchhike down there. And we were safe because I wasn't alone.
Oh, good.
So we did. We hitchhiked, and the police picked us up for vagrancy.
Oh, gee.
And put us in jail. And my mother came and got me, and Cheryl. She was pissed.
Oh, my God.
So
shame on you going hitchhiking after that.
Well, I thought I had come,
Well,
the two of us would be better. And so after I got picked up for hitchhiking, finally my mother took me down to Junior. We went to California. And then we were out to California for several months. And then I did get pregnant. And then Junior, through his dad, said my mother was sick. And so we packed up and came back to Michigan. I did not want to come back. We came back to Michigan and we moved in with her because she had had a stroke. And then when I was 7 months pregnant, he went hunting with a friend up in Nuevo. And on the way back, the last day of deer hunting season, they were on their way back, and Junior was in the back seat sleeping, and his friend was driving, and he was driving too fast, went around the curve, and didn't make the curve. He rode the car, and Junior flew out and hit his head and killed him instantly. And I was 7 months pregnant. And after that, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to sleep, I didn't want to do anything. I used to walk all over the place. I remember one time it was raining and I was walking and walking and walking. And my mother said she was going to call the police. She called the doctor. And the doctor said, your daughter's here. I had walked, and I had no other place to go, so I went to my doctor. And my doctor said, I am so glad to see you. And then after that, after I had Sharon, I just went crazy. I didn't care about anything. I just went out and had fun, and the hell with the world. Live today, because you may die tomorrow. And don't trust anything, because there's nothing in this world trustworthy. Because I thought, God, why would you take Junior? Why would you take him? And I know the answer now, but at that time, I was 17 with a little baby. My mother died when Sharon was 9 months old. And Deb and I had no relationship. And Cheryl and I, that's another story.
You had an interesting relationship.
So I ended up getting a little apartment and going to work, and then I was raising hell, and that's when I met Gordon. And he wanted to get married, and I thought, what the hell, I'm not going to love anybody else. I might as well get married and have somebody take care of my daughter. Well, that wasn't a good enough reason to get married. But in all that, the Lord was there. I just couldn't see it.